Every morning you wake up is proof that the war is not over yet. Because if life was done with you, you wouldn't be here. So every time your eyes open, understand this. You're still needed, you're still capable, you're still chosen, and that means you've got another shot at everything they said you'd never come. But most people open their eyes and forget the miracle it is just to be awake. They forget that the same breath someone else begged God to take is flowing through their lungs without a second thought. So they waste it. They sit in bed scrolling through illusions, forgetting that time doesn't pause for anyone and life doesn't reward the lazy. It punishes them. So before the day starts, before the doubts flood in, before the world demands who you should be, you've got to become your own commander. You've got to tell yourself what this day will mean to you, because if you don't lead your own mind, something else will. The world is not built to make you powerful. It's built to make you doubt your power. It's built to distract you, sell to you, break you, and convince you to accept average as good enough. But average never changes the world. Average never rewrites destiny. Average never makes history. So if you want more, you have to speak more to yourself. You have to program your own spirit. You have to be the voice that reminds you that you are not what they said you were. You are not who your past tried to turn you into. You are what you choose to repeat every single morning when the world is still. Quiet and your thoughts are the loudest, because that moment is power. That moment is where greatness is formed, not in crowds, not in applause, not in comfort, but in the fire of discipline and belief that you burn into your mind every single morning, whether you're tired or not, whether you're motivated or not, whether you feel like it or not. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You rise to the level of your self-talk. And most people have conversations with themselves. Not enough. And then they wonder why nothing ever changes. But you can't live a powerful life with a powerless script. You can't conquer the day if you tell yourself you're already beaten before the sun even rises. You can't become who you were born to be if you don't declare war on the voice that keeps saying trying to shrink you. And you can't ask life to be gentle with you if you're not even willing to stand up and speak strength into your own soul. So before the world speaks, before your past whispers, before your fears scream, you need to be louder. You need to tell yourself things so powerful, so raw, so true that even your pain starts to listen. This is not about fake positivity. This is not about telling yourself sweet lies to feel good. This is about building a mindset that doesn't fold when life gets dark. This is about burning new words into your subconscious until the old ones are silenced forever. Forever. This is about looking yourself in the mirror when you've got nothing left and saying, I still believe in me, because most people stop believing in themselves long before the world ever doubts them. They give up on their own strength before the fight even begins. They wait for outside validation before Mars. They give themselves internal permission, and that's why they stay stuck. But you're here because you're ready to talk to yourself different. You're here because you're done waiting to feel ready. You're here because the old way of thinking got you nowhere, and now it's time to take control. One thing you always had: power over your own voice, your own story, your own beliefs. And when you live like that, when you own every step, every choice, every breath, you become dangerous. Because people who know they're in control become unstoppable. They no longer ask for permission. They no longer wait to be chosen. They don't wait for motivation. They create it. They don't run from pain. They shape it into power. So tell yourself this every morning. Burn it into your identity. Because you don't need a perfect life. You just need to realize that you are not here to be controlled. You are here to command your life, build your life, and lead your life like it was made for you and only you. Two. I am worthy of the love I keep giving away. This is the truth you've buried under every heartbreak. You never healed from every silence you accepted, instead of receiving the love you deserved every time you stayed, when they stopped choosing you every time you gave, without being met with the same energy, the same care, the same depth you naturally offer to everyone else. You tell yourself this because the world is quick to make you forget it. People will gladly take your light and give you their darkness in return. They'll drain your loyalty and vanish when it's time to return favor. They'll accept your warmth and call you a too much when you ask for consistency. So over time, you start to shrink. You start to question your worth. You start to think, maybe I ask for too much, when the truth is you've been giving everything to people who were never built to hold it. You tell yourself this every morning to remind your soul of something sacred. You don't have to earn love, you already deserve it. You're not broken for wanting connection. You're not weak for needing to be seen. You're not too emotional for expecting the same kind of love you give so effortlessly. The problem isn't you. The problem is you've been pouring oceans into hands that can't even hold rain. And still you kept giving. You loved even when it hurt. You stayed soft even in your storms. You gave second chances when others would have burned bridges. And that right there is not a weakness. That's power. That's a heart built for depth. But it's also a heart that needs to be reminded that giving doesn't mean settling. You've convinced yourself that being selfless means staying in spaces where you are unseen. But the truth is, love is not sacrifice if it costs you your soul. Love is not pure when it's one-sided, and love is not meant to hurt more than it heals. So when you say, I am worthy of the love I keep giving away, you're rewriting your standards. You're setting a new blueprint. You're teaching your mind that you no longer chase people to prove your value. You're no longer shrinking yourself to be accepted. You're no longer apologizing for needing reciprocity. Because love isn't just about giving. It's about being seen, being valued, being met where you are. You have spent years pouring into others with a kind of fire most people couldn't even fake for a day. And yet you doubt if you're worthy. No. You are not just worthy, you are long overdue. Overdue for the kind of love that feels like home. The kind of connection that doesn't need to be earned but is given freely because someone finally sees the worth you've carried all along. You've given love to people who never gave you closure, who never apologized, who took and ran, and yet you still stayed soft. That is rare. That is powerful. That is not something to change. It's something to protect. So every single morning you tell yourself this, and you don't say it like a whisper. You say it like a war cry. I am worthy of the love I keep giving away. Because when you believe that, you stop begging for love and start attracting it. You stop chasing people and start becoming magnetic. You stop pouring into others hoping they'll finally notice you, and you start pouring into yourself until you become so full that only those who overflow can meet you where you stand. You are worthy of being held the way you hold others. You are worthy of being seen with the same clarity you give to the world. You only vibers who overflow can meet you, worthy of the peace you bring into every room you enter. And the moment you start treating yourself like that, worth is non-negotiable. The world will start treating you the same. 3. I do not chase, I attract. I become what I seek. This is not just a phrase. It is a complete shift in how you move through the world. It's the moment you stop begging the world to notice you and start realizing that the world reflects what you believe about yourself. When you chase, you're operating from lack. When you chase, you're saying, I don't have it, I'm not enough. I need to run after something to feel whole. But the moment you say, I attract, you flip the entire equation. You step into alignment, you step into power. You begin to radiate the energy of someone who already has it, who already is it, and the universe has no choice but to return that same energy to you. This mindset isn't passive. It's not about sitting around and waiting. It's about becoming. It's about transforming your inner world so radically that everything you desire has no choice but to come find you. Because you no longer beg, you no longer reach, you build, you embody, you become. And what you become, you naturally attract. You want love, become love. You want peace, master your inner world. You want success? Walk, talk, and breathe like it's already yours. Because people think attraction is some mystical force. It's not. It's the product of identity. What you attract flows from who you are. And the more aligned you are with the future you, the more you will start pulling in everything that belongs to that version of you. When you say, I do not chase, you're not saying you don't move or you don't hustle. You're saying you don't compromise your energy to fit into places that were never meant to hold your greatness. You're saying you no longer lower your standards just to be accepted. You don't chase love because you are love. You don't chase success because your discipline and focus are pulling it into your life. You don't chase people because those who are meant for you are drawn to your authenticity, not your performance. You've spent years trying to force doors open that were never built for you. You've knocked on the hearts of people who couldn't even open themselves. You've run after validation, connection, peace, as if it was something outside of you, and it broke you. It exhausted you. Because chasing always leaves you empty. But becoming fills you from the inside out. When you shift from pursuit to presence, from craving to creating, you unlock something deeper. You realize that everything you've been searching for out there was waiting for you to find it in here. You don't get what you want, you get what you aren't. You get what you are. So if you want more, you must become more. Not for them, not to impress, but because it is your responsibility to rise, to expand, to evolve into the version of yourself that is no longer starved for validation, but overflowing with belief. This is when your energy changes. You no longer beg, you no longer plead. You no longer plead. You look at life and say, I don't need to chase anything because I am becoming the version of me that everything I want is already looking for. You want to know why things didn't come before, because you weren't ready. You hadn't stepped into the identity that could carry it. But now you're done chasing, you're building, you're leveling up. You're becoming magnetic. You're waking up every morning and saying with authority, I do not chase, I attract, I become what I seek. And that's not just a statement. That's the beginning of a new era of your life where everything changes, because you did. 4. My past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Your past may have broken you, but it does not own you. The pain you carry, the mistakes you made, the versions of yourself that you're ashamed to look back on, none of them define who you are unless you decide to stay there. Too many people live like their past is a prison cell, like one wrong decision means they're condemned forever, like a failure from 5 years ago still has the right to sit in the front seat of their future. But you weren't born to carry your history on your back like a curse. You were born to rise from it, learn from it, burn through it, and evolve into something stronger. Your past is not a life sentence. It is not a weight meant to crush you forever. It is a classroom, and if you're still breathing, you haven't graduated yet. You're still learning, you're still transforming, you're still being sculpted by what tried to destroy you. You're not supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to be progressing. And that means every scar you carry is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom. Every loss you suffered wasn't there to end you. It was there to educate you. You didn't go through all that pain to stay small. You didn't cry all those tears just to stay stuck. You survived because there's still more of you left to become. When you tell yourself, my past is a lesson, you're releasing shame and replacing it with power. You're looking your old self in the face, the one that got hurt, that made mistakes, that was insecure and confused. And you're saying, I see you, I learn from you, but I am not you anymore. You're not ignoring your history. You're just refusing to let it decide your future. That's the difference between people who stay trapped and those who break free. The ones who heal use the past, the ones who stay broken serve it. And you were not born to be a servant to what's behind you. You were born to use every piece of it to build what's ahead. People will try to remind you of who you were. They'll try to drag your past into your present like a weapon. But they don't understand. You've already turned it into a shield. You've already dug through that darkness and pulled out the light. And even if you're still in the process of healing, even if some nights still hurt, you are still further than you've ever been. Because the moment you choose to see your past as education, you take the power back. You stop hiding. You stop apologizing for evolving. You stop letting your mistakes write the rest of your story. You are not your failures. You are not your trauma. You are not the worst thing that ever happened to you. You are who you choose to become in spite of it all. And that choice is yours every single morning. So when the old memories come up, when the shame creeps in, when the doubt tries to whisper that you haven't changed enough, or healed enough, or grown enough, you stand up, breathe deep, and remind yourself, my past taught me. It didn't trap me. It refined me. It didn't define me. It shaped me, but it doesn't limit me. I carry the wisdom, I leave the weight, and I move forward because the future doesn't belong to the person I was. It belongs to the one I'm becoming. 5. I am not my thoughts. I am what I choose to focus on. Your mind will tell you 1,000 lies before you even get out of bed. It will whisper doubts, fears, regrets, and worst-case scenarios. It will pull out every old wound, every mistake, every criticism you've ever heard, and play it on repeat like it's the truth. But here's the most powerful truth you'll ever realize. You are not your thoughts. You are the one watching them. You are the one who chooses which thoughts you give power to. Your thoughts may show up uninvited, but your focus is a decision. And whatever you focus on, you feed. Whatever you feed grows. There are voices in your head that don't belong to you. Voices from your past. Voices from your trauma. Voices from other people's judgments. Voices from moments where you felt small and scared and alone. And if you're not careful, you'll start thinking those voices are you. You'll start believing that anxiety is your identity, that self-doubt is your truth, that negativity is your personality. But those thoughts, they're not who you are. They're just echoes from moments that tried to break you. And if you don't fight back, if you don't reclaim your focus, those echoes become chains. The power lies in this. Your thoughts can scream, but you still get to choose where your eyes go, where your energy flows, where your soul lands. You could have 100 fearful thoughts and still choose courage. You could have 1,000 insecure thoughts and still speak confidence. You could wake up with the weight of the world on your shoulders and still say, I'm going to show up for me today. That is power. That is real control. Not silence of the mind, but mastery over what gets your attention. You are not broken because your mind gets dark. You are not weak because you feel overwhelmed. The strongest people are the ones who feel the storm rising inside of them and still choose to step forward anyway. You don't need to delete every negative thought. You just need to stop letting them drive your life. Thoughts will come and go, but focus is a weapon. Focus is how you take a chaotic mind and build peace from it. Focus is how you turn pain into progress. I'm bien proud. Focus is how you go from survival to evolution. And don't get it twisted. This takes work. It takes practice. It takes catching the thought before it hijacks your whole day. It takes pausing and asking, is this thought helping me become who I want to be? If it's not, you starve it. You pull your energy away. You plant your focus in truth, in growth, in action, in everything that reminds you of your strength, not your scars. When you say, I am not my thoughts, I am what I choose to focus on, you're not denying your mind. You're taking control of it. You're refusing to let random thoughts hijack your identity. You're choosing to become intentional, strategic, disciplined. Because if you let your thoughts run the show, your life will always be at the mercy of your worst moments. But if you learn to direct your focus, you become the author again. So yes, thoughts will come, dark ones, loud ones, broken ones, but they don't own you. They don't get the final word. You do. And the day you learn to look at your thoughts and say, that's not me, that's just noise, that's the day you become unstoppable. Because you'll finally understand. You were never your mind. You are always your focus. 6. I already have everything inside me to start today strong. You don't need to wait. You don't need more time. You don't need permission. You don't need someone to come save you. You already have everything inside you to start today like a storm that cannot be stopped. But most people don't believe that. They wake up doubting. They wake up waiting to feel ready, waiting for motivation, waiting for the pain to go away, waiting for someone to finally believe in them before they believe in themselves. But the truth is, no one is coming. Not because you're not worth it, but because it was never their job to wake you up. That fire, that drive, that belief, that's your job. You're not missing anything. You're not behind. You're not unqualified. You don't need to become someone else to earn your place. You just need to remember who you already are. Because strength isn't something you find. It's something you activate. And every single day, you have the power to do exactly that. Right now. Right here. Not after you feel better. Not after your fear disappears. Not after life gets easier. Now. Because the raw materials for greatness, they're already inside you. You've been through enough storms to know how to stand. You've survived nights that should have broken you. You've carried yourself through situations that no one even knows about. And yet you're still here, still breathing, still waking up, still trying. That is not weakness. That is evidence. Evidence that your strength is real. Evidence that your willpower is already alive. And you don't need anyone to confirm that for you. You just need to claim it every morning. When you say, I already have everything inside me to start today strong, you are rejecting the lies that say you need more to be more. You are stepping into the truth that strength is not given. It's chosen. It's practiced. It's remembered. You've got discipline waiting to be called upon. You've got focus buried under distractions. You've got resilience sitting quietly beneath your fears. And all of it is waiting for one thing, your decision to rise. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need every step mapped out. You don't need anyone to validate your grind. You just need to take the first move with the belief that you already carry the fire, the fight, and the focus. You just forgot it under the noise of this world. But it's still in you, right now. Start today like it's your only shot. Show up for yourself like you've been waiting your whole life to meet this version of you. Walk like your purpose can't be delayed. Speak like your voice was made to shift the world. Work like your name already belongs on greatness. You are not empty. You are not waiting to be filled. You are already full of strength, full of fire, full of vision, full of untapped power. So don't wait, don't hesitate, don't sit there wondering if you're good enough. Start, because the most powerful truth you can ever carry into the day is this: everything I need is already inside me. I just need to show up and use it. 7. I will make my name unforgettable in this life. You didn't come here to live invisible. You didn't come here to just survive. Clock in and clock out. Blend into the noise and die quietly with your story still trapped inside your chest. You came here to shake the ground. You came here to leave fingerprints on this world that will not fade. You came here to build something with your life so undeniable, so raw, so real, that when you're gone, people won't just remember what you did. They'll remember how you moved, how you fought, how you rose, how you refused to be average when it was easier to settle. When you say, I will make my name unforgettable in this life, you are not talking about ego. You are talking about impact. You are talking about choosing to live so loud, so bold, so intentional, that the world will have no choice but to feel your existence long after your time is done. This isn't about being famous. This isn't about applause. This is about significance. It's about walking through life with the mindset that every day is a chance to carve your name into the walls of time, that every choice you make is part of the legacy you're building. And you refuse to let that legacy be built on silence, fear, or comfort. Most people die twice, once when their heart stops and once when they stop trying, when they bury their ambition under excuses, when they shrink to fit the expectations of others, when they let the fire go out because the world told them to be realistic, but not you. You're done playing small. You're done waiting to be discovered. You're done watching from the sidelines while other people live bold. Now it's your turn. Your name is a weapon. Your story is a revolution, and you have the right to make the kind of noise that makes generations remember you. You have the right to wake up and declare, this day will not forget me. This life will not ignore me. My effort will not vanish. My name will be etched into the results I create, the people I impact, the limits I break, the silence I destroy. Because your name is not just a sound, it's a legacy waiting to be written. It's a symbol of everything you stood for, every battle you survived. Every moment you could have quit but didn't. Every time you got up and chose to fight again with nothing but willpower and a dream that still kept breathing inside you. You will not be forgotten because you will not allow yourself to disappear. You will not fade into the background like someone who was never here. You will build something. You will say something. You will fight for something. You will carry yourself like a person who understands their worth is louder than their wounds. You don't need anyone to give you permission. You already have the authority. Your story has value. Your scars have power. And your name has meaning, not because others say so, but because you've decided that from this moment forward, you will live in such a way that the world has no choice but to remember you. Say it like a vow. Say it like a fire. Say it like a promise to the person you were and the person you're becoming. I will make my name unforgettable in this life. Not someday, now. You've just stood face to face with the voice inside you. That's been silent for too long. You've just walked through the fire of truth that most people never dare to face. Every sentence you've told yourself, every line you've declared, every word you've repeated, it wasn't just motivation. It was a resurrection, a reminder, a command to your own soul to wake the hell up and remember who you are and why you're here. This is not just about waking up early and repeating words. This is not about empty affirmations or wishful thinking. This is about building a mind so strong, so locked in, so laser-focused that the world has no choice but to bend when you walk through it. It's about programming a spirit that doesn't flinch under pressure, doesn't fold in the storm, and doesn't back down just because it's tired. It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't chase dreams. They drag them into reality with blood, sweat, and belief. Because let's be honest, and if you don't rise every morning and speak power into your identity, this world will name you something small and expect you to wear it like it fits. But you were never meant to fit in. You were never meant to shrink. You were never meant to stay quiet and play nice while your soul screams for more. You were born to disrupt everything that ever tried to break you. You were born to rewrite your name into history through pure force of will. You've been lied to, They told you needed someone to fix you, someone to save you, someone to tell you it's okay to start. But the truth is, you were always the one. You were always the one who had the power, the strength, the fire. You just forgot. You forgot because the world benefits when you stay small. But not anymore. Not after this. Not after you've looked yourself in the eye and spoken words that reprogrammed your soul. Every morning when your feet hit the floor, understand something deep. You are not like them. You are not built to live average. You are not built to exist in silence. You are not built to die with your story still buried under fear. You were made to leave a mark, and you were made to live in such a way that when your time here is done, the world will not be able to forget you. So don't ever again tell yourself you're not ready. Don't ever again say, I'll start tomorrow. Don't ever again hand your power to fear, to doubt, or to the past. You are ready. You are rising. You are becoming, and the world better pay attention, because from this day forward your name will mean something. Your energy will shift everything around you. Your life will speak so loud it won't need permission to be heard. You've awakened now, and nothing can stop you.